Hey, there you are. What do you think? It's about beer 30, ain't it? I think so. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey guys, looky here. Look what we got here. Pliny the Elder. People flock to get this beer and do their best to trade to get their hands on this beer. This was sent to me by Nate. Thanks again, Nate, my brother, for sending me the beer mail package you did. Awesome beer so far. I don't think he sent me a bad beer. I mean, he's a lot like Rico and Brandon and even Greg that send me these world-class beers. All of them are usually A beers, guys, and some of them are 10s. So, and this, and I've reviewed this beer twice before, I think. It's been sent to me, and I'm pretty sure it's been a 10 beer both times. So this is a 2016 re-review of Pliny the Elder. I mean, cult following on this beer, guys. It really is. This is probably their flagship beer at Russian River. And this is Pliny the Elder. The Younger is only available, as far as I know, on tap at the brewery. And they're out of Santa Rosa, California. I can kick myself in the butt because I went through Santa Rosa, California when I was out there, but the couple that was with me, they drink Miller Lite, and they weren't interested in going there. I won't make that mistake again if I get back out there. So, shame on me. That's the way I look at that. I should have stopped there, and I should have sent them on their merry little freaking way if they didn't want to come in. So, like I said, I won't make that mistake again if I get back out to California, especially out there to Santa Rosa. So let's see what this brings to the table. I've got a feeling I know what it's going to end up being. A lot of breweries have stepped up to the plate now, and there are a lot of them on the East Coast and some on the West Coast that do these outstanding world-class 10-plus beers. And this is probably one of them. Like I said, a lot of people are trying to get their hands on this beer. Used to be anyway, but with all the breweries stepping up to the plate and tweaking their recipes and getting better and better at what they do, there are a lot of beers out there that are 10 beers, and I like the West Coast style beers. I really do. I like that up in your face, super hoppy, piney, pineapple, grapefruity, tropical fruit notes. I love this kind of beers. This is a 8%er, so it's not too awfully big, but it is a damn well made beer. And I've had several different offerings from Russian River, and they've all been pretty freaking tasty. So the brewer out there definitely knows how to brew a damn good beer. So let's get on with this one. I don't want it to be a 20 to 30 minute video. I'm trying to keep down and keep flapping my gums so much. So, commercial description, there's a big long one in here. I don't know if I should read it or not. I'm going to. They say the IBUs here on Rate Beer are 100. Pliny the Elder was a Roman naturalist, scholar, historian, traveler, officer, and writer. Although not considered the most important work, Pliny and his contemporaries created the botanical name for hops lupus salactarius, meaning wolf among scrubs. Hops at the time grew wild among willows, much like a wolf in the forest. Later, the current botanical name Humulus lupulus was adopted. Pliny died in 79 AD while observing the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. He was immortalized by his nephew Pliny the Younger, who continued his uncle's legacy by documenting much of what he observed during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Pliny the Elder, the beer is brewed with 40% more malt over twice the amount of hops as compared to our already hoppy IPA. So that is all of that in a nutshell. So while I get the cap off of this, I will tell you, since it's considered a double IPA, the cuisine is barbecue, and the cheeses are pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue, cheddar, three stronger, more pungent cheeses, gorgonzola, limburger, and the meat is game, grilled meat, and salmon. And the glassware snifter, tulip oversized wine glass. I got my favorite snifter. And it says you can sell it because it's an 8%er, but you will regret that. Don't do it. Don't make me slap you. Don't sell your beers, especially if they're IPAs or double IPAs, guys. Not quite a finger of head. Very clear. This is definitely a filtered beer. A nice amber color to it. Let's get a nose on it. Can't wait. Let's do it. Oh yeah, yeah. Very citrusy, piney, grapefruity, pineapple-y, tropical fruit notes, mango, maybe some lighter fruit notes in there, maybe some peaches or apples or apricots. A lot of stuff going on in this beer, guys. Very, very well done. Wow. I can't wait. I'm drooling on myself. It's time. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Nate. Oh yeah, that's outstanding. That's wonderful. Wow. I would love to see them do an unfiltered version of this. Just leave all that pulp and everything in there. Of course, we don't need a lot of big floaty coagulated stuff in the bottom of it, but the guys at Treehouse and Trillium and several other ones know how to produce those beers that look just like orange juice when you pour it out of the can or bottle. So, and Stone has figured that out too. They're enjoyed by series. They're doing some unfiltered versions of that too. So, wow. I would love to have an unfiltered version of this. That would be my only suggestion, the guys out that Russian River. Let's do an unfiltered version of Pliny the Elder and see how that goes over. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. All right, it's right out of the fridge, guys. We're going to let it warm up and let her have a taste 2 or 3. And before we run away, I might try to get the rest of that in there. I don't think it's going to cloud it up any because, like I said, it's a filtered beer. No, it did not. Guys, before I run away, I only got 2 openers left. We're here in November. Thanksgiving's coming up. Christmas is coming up. I'm not going to reorder any more openers until the last 2 are gone. Still got some shirts. Got all sizes. May not have the... I don't think I got any larges in the black, but I think I got larges in the white. So if you're interested in an opener or a t-shirt or both, just let me know and we'll get you fixed up. Give me a sip on this and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left. This is an awesome beer. I mean, it's world class. People are clamoring to get their hands on it. People that don't have this beer distributed to their area are willing to trade and jump through hoops and stand on their head and burp jelly beans to get their hands on it, especially if they've never had it before. I've had people ask me when they see it in the refrigerator, you got any you trade and all this stuff. It is a beer to try. Especially if you've never had it before, just to see how good this beer is. It is an outstanding beer, guys. And like I said earlier, I would like to see them doing unfiltered versions. To be honest with you guys, I used to think this was the top notch. That and Heady Topper and some of those were as good as it gets. But now that I've had some of the Trillium beers and some of the Treehouse beers and some of the other unfiltered beers, I think those beers are just a smidge better than what I have here. Don't get me wrong, I still think it's a 10 beer, but I think those beers are just a notch above. So, with that being said, this is a 2016 re-review of Pliny the Elder. As far as I'm concerned, it's still an outstanding world-class beer. wonderful aroma. I mean, it's top notch, guys. There's no doubt about it. Guys, if you guys that are head brewers, anybody that's associated with Russian River, let's do an unfiltered version of this and see how that goes over. That'd be my 2 cents worth. Just a suggestion. Final trust. Just as good as it always is, guys. They brew some awesome beers. They really, really do. Nate, thanks again, my brother, for sending all the wonderful beers that you sent me. We got some bigger beers in there that he sent me that it's not going to be quite as timely. I don't know, what am I trying to say? It's so timely that it needs to be done immediately. Some of the other stuff he sent me is different barrel-aged beers, and I think I've already done one of the Quandary beers, and they've done several different versions of that. So we may do one of those here pretty quick. I'm not sure yet, but I wanted to get the IPAs that he sent me out of the fridge, because a lot of times with all the beers that are sent to me, some of these get pushed back in the back, and I don't want people emailing me or texting me saying, "Hey, I sent you these beers. What happened? I ain't seen the review on it." So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to try to get to them in a timely manner. So we're going to do a lot of these ABV beers that are lower, and IPAs and double IPAs before the hops fade. That's what we're going to try to do. But like I said, I'm going to try to stick in some darker beers or some barrel-aged beers in between there. But we're going to concentrate a lot on the IPAs and the lower ABV beers before they sit in the fridge 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I don't want that to happen. So, with this being said, guys, it's still a 10. I don't think it's quite as good as what Trillium is doing with the unfiltered versions that they do, and Treehouse and several others that are doing these unfiltered beers that look like grapefruit juice or orange juice in the glass. So I'm really, really partial to that. And I didn't used to be quite so much, and you didn't used to see them quite as much as you're seeing them now. So that's just another step they don't have to do. They don't have to hook up the filtering machine and filter out a bunch of that to get a nice clear beer. And I don't do that here when I brew my own beers. I use a primary and a secondary. When I rack it from the primary to the secondary, usually I leave all that junk in the bottom of the bucket and rinse all that out, and once it sets in the secondary, I don't bottle anymore. I used to, and I'll rack it to the keg and keg it from there, and it usually ends up pretty damn clear. So of course, when they're in the bigger breweries, they're not going from one tank to the other, usually in the primary or secondary. It'll go to the bright tank, and then they'll pull off of that and leave all that shit in the bottom. Basically, the same process that I use. And these unfiltered beers, I don't know how they do that. I've not experienced that. I've not been able to reproduce that. Of course, I haven't done anything where I just left it in a primary. Everything that I do goes from a primary to a secondary, where we leave all that stuff out of there. So I just don't know how to do that yet. I'm not experienced enough as a home brewer to be able to do that. So like I said, 10 to 100 for me, guys. It's very tasty. Maybe I ought to start giving those Trillium beers and the Treehouse beers that are unfiltered, that I think have just a little more taste than this. Maybe I'll give it 11. I don't know. I don't know what to do there. Maybe you guys will give me some suggestions. So let's get on with it here. You got my grade. We'll go over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 100, world class, no doubt. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 100, and 100 in the style, no doubt. Very excellent beer. And they've been doing this for quite a while, and they got it down pat. So would love to try some Pliny the Younger, but I'm not in California near Santa Rosa to be able to go in and try that. So I don't know if they're doing any kind of growlers like Carton did, and they're putting the wax on it, and the beer is going to keep for a little bit anyway, a couple of weeks, a month or so. But once you pop that top on that growler, you got to drink it pretty quick. And I don't know how that's done. So if anybody's got a chance to do growlers. And like I said, a lot of them don't do that wax seal and all that stuff on them. I know Carton does on some of their stuff. So be interesting. I've never had Pliny the Younger, so I'd like to taste that. For our final check-in, we'll run over to Untapped, and Untapped has it at 4.57. I don't think I've seen anything with that big of a number on it before. I mean, that's pretty damn good. Never seen a 5, and I don't think I've seen anything bigger than a 4.5% on anything they do. So, excellent numbers from those guys. This is a world-class, outstanding beer. And I got a feeling before too long, you're going to start seeing some of those other ones like Trillium and Treehouse that are doing these unfiltered beers get those kind of ratings. So, I'm very impressed with what they do. I guess you can tell that I've been talking about them. But I'm getting more and more into those style of beers and that unfiltered version. So it is very tasty when you pour something like that from those guys into a glass and it looks like orange juice or grapefruit juice. I do like those. My palate and everything is got up to that stage where I do enjoy those style of beers. So that's all we need to talk about on this one. Like I said, this is probably run longer than I wanted to. Nate, thanks again, my brother, for sending me this. Just as outstanding as it was the first 2 times I've had it. So I do appreciate it, sir. If you've had this from Russian River, this is the Pliny the Elder. This is a 2016 re-review. Let me know what you think, guys. Come on back tomorrow. We'll dig something tasty out of the fridge. See you then.